Robo-Joe, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today, we are looking at Robo-Joe, the jet tech operations expert from G.I. Joe's Star Brigade. The reason I'm reviewing this is we did an episode of Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast last week, where we took a look at the outer space G.I. Joe stuff that had been done. We looked at a few different aspects of Joe's in space, and in the course of that, came across this guy, and I loved him from the fact that he's very clearly sort of a RoboCop homage to him being a cyborg, to him being Halloween colors with this. I loved everything about this crazy figure. I love that the art on the card seems to be depicting him screaming in agony at his abominable condition. Just everything going on here. I wanted to have the figure, and the only way to know you're going to have a nice, pristine, complete figure is to buy one on the card. The card is not super minty. I didn't feel like I was depriving anybody of like an extra mint on card figure by getting this, but during the episode, I went on eBay and bought this figure, and it came in just a couple of days. Great seller. But I was out of G.I. Joe by this era, so I never had anything. This is from 1993, and I was well into, I guess, maybe still some Ninja Turtles, but mostly Toy Biz X-Men, probably by this point. But whatever the case, this is a new era of Joe that I'm kind of discovering and finding things to love. Look how angry they all are. Really expressive art going on in this era. They all are just furious with their outer space situations. So, battle armored warriors rocket into space with futuristically styled built-in robo-armor and spring-fired missile launchers. These high-tech fighters take the battle action into distant galaxies and beyond. Look, Joe's in space doesn't bother me. To be honest, I don't think it even bothered me back then. There was a lot of stuff about 90s Joes that I wasn't collecting, but I was aware of what was going on. There was a lot of stuff I didn't care for, but I don't think Joe's in space, because that started with the Defiant. But to be honest, well, to talk about where it started, you'll have to go listen to that episode of Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast, available wherever you get your podcast. I'm not going to read the whole file card, but I do like, I am stronger, I am faster, I am Robo-Joe. So, anyway, I had to get this figure, and now I'm going to open it up, which I hope doesn't cause anybody too much pain. But like I said, you can see the card is pretty jacked up. It's not like I'm taking a minty mint card, which I would not do. If this was a beautiful card, I would have kept this and tried to find another one. So let's do this. 1993. So this toy is 30 years old, and I'm opening it right now. I like the pink. I keep looking at the packaging and loving it. The pink is fantastic. I would not have liked it back then, but I love it now. I love the burst with Robo Armored Warrior. Synchro Tech Launcher shoots. It's just fun. And it's interesting to note that G.I. Joe is not even the biggest identifier on this card. Star Brigade is the big. Oh boy, I love that. Star Brigade is the feature of the card back. We have got some great stuff in here. So you can see their instructions on the card. Let me just tell you, toy manufacturers of today could take a note from this, because every once in a while, like, obviously we can figure out how to put the figure on the battle stand, but there are some figures that could use a little instruction like this in the modern era. So that's fun. I like that. I'm gonna hang on to that card until 20 years from now, when I'm like, why did I keep that? A little plastic insert to keep everything in its place. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna put that with the card too. I'm not gonna throw that out either. This is exciting. What does G.I. Joe wants to hang out with me? Whoa, a poster offer inside. Okay, I am going to have to track down that poster. That poster is from the live-action G.I. Joe commercial that was running at the time. I highly recommend you check it out on YouTube. This is cool. I love this. I love keeping these little things. I've got a whole box full of them. And then we've also got... Oh, man, look at this. A trading card of the live-action Joes. What I wouldn't give to have either one of those, even though I could not tell you off the top of my head who either one of those characters are, I would love to have those costumes. So who is this? G.I. Joe Mega Marines. It doesn't say... That's funny, so it does not identify the characters that are on the trading card, but whatever. Look at the foil on that thing. These are great. Now I want the rest of these trading cards, too. All right, let's take a look at Robo-Joe. Oh, just to get a size comparison here, that is our Battle Core Leatherneck. So you can see that Robo-Joe is bulkier, larger, but maybe not quite as much bigger as you might think he would be. Like, he's not Inhumanoids bigger, because if you don't know, Inhumanoids are technically G.I. Joe scale. It's just that they're in gigantic suits of armor. Got a little schmutz on him. Articulation-wise, very different from a standard G.I. Joe figure. Not even knees. He can sit, though, but just swivels at the shoulders. The elbows move. Oh man, that's like stuck. Oh, it's terrifying. Oh, there we go. Whew. All right. And then the neck joint, obviously. The spatter decoration on mine, Christian mentioned that the one he had, or his brother had, I guess, when he was a kid, the spatter didn't look very good. I think the spatter looks fantastic on this one. I don't know why it's there, other than to give him a unique look, but I love it. I mean, look how Halloween-y is this guy. He's fantastic. Of course, stands up perfectly well. Let's look at that portrait. So, if you noticed on the card art, let's get that back over here real quick, because I didn't talk about it enough already. He's got some kind of tube going up his nose. I don't know why his nose needs to be connected to his eye, but there it is. And you can see that is represented on the figure. It looks different here. He's got a tube going from his cheek to his nose. The armor design is different than what was on the card art, but looks great. I do think I would prefer if the cyborg parts were silver rather than gold, but at the same time, how many silver cyborgs have we seen in media over and over again? This guy's got gold robot parts. So, pretty awesome. I'm good with it. I think the silver would be more striking because it would provide more contrast with the orange and the black. But the gold is pretty cool too, I'm not going to lie. So there he is. There's Robo-Joe. You can see all the sculpted detail in here. He's got little components and gizmos. The armor plating looks really nice. The spatter is not doing the sculpt any favors, I'll say that, but that's okay. He's got some little business going on over here with actually different color paint. Oh, no, you know what? Okay, so that's the same color as the paint spatter. But still, just cool little figure. Oh, wait, his knees do bend. I was wrong. Whoa! I totally did not expect that. I'm sure some of you who are more familiar with... Look at that. Oh, that's great. I'm sure some of you are more familiar with the Star Brigade stuff. We're like, what are you talking about? His knees totally bend. But there they are. So the knees do bend. Oh, that's great. Because I was perfectly happy with non-bending knees. I just figured this giant piece of armor, I can't necessarily expect that. But no, okay, nothing at the waist. But just cool sculpt, great design, very, 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 you know the word I'm going to use, toyetic. Let's take a look at his helmet, which is like a weird mixture of Iron Man and the armored Batman from Dark Knight Returns. The only disappointing thing about his helmet is, unlike the other figures in this series, it does not have an open faceplate. So you put the helmet on, and he's operating purely on like sensors, but he's Robo-Joe, so I guess that's okay. I do wish there was some kind of open design to that helmet. His weird kitty cat, Iron Man, Batman helmet, whatever. It would almost be cool if this was just open. But, I mean, I'm not going to display him with that helmet on, because look at that. How could you cover that mug up? He has also got his spring-loaded rocket launcher, or spring-firing rocket launcher, I think they called it. And then his sprue of weapons, which was a trademark of Joe at the time. These, you do not need nippers to get them off of there, really. Well, I guess I'm going to use them just to make it a little easier. Yeah, they practically just fall off of this thing. It's very soft plastic. Battle stand, and then finally, let's get that machete, I guess. It comes with, Robo-Joe comes with a sword, essentially. Look at that thing. I'm going to cut that burr off later, get my X-Acto out, and get rid of that. But pretty wild. So he can go into outer space. Oh, and he can hold it. He can hold it perfectly. Oh, I love that. Okay. So we've got this cool looking laser cannon, very outer spacey, tons of detail in gold. So the fact that his cyborg parts do match his weapons is cool. I think that works. And the weapons are more exciting in gold than they would be in silver. So I am actually going to turn around and say, okay, cool. I'm good with golden cyborg parts, or like more than good with it. It works. He's got sort of a submachine gun looking thing going on that he's absolutely not going to be able to hold with both hands, but that's okay. Because he is Robo-Joe, he only needs to hold that with one hand. Oh my gosh, he's got wrist articulation. What? I noticed his left wrist was like kind of cocked off to the side, and I was like, that's a weird decision. His wrists swivel. Holy cow. That is a very unexpected feature. Look at how loaded down this guy is, but that's not all, folks. He's also got like a shotgun. Almost kind of looks like Falcon's a little bit. It isn't, but it sort of resembles it. And shotguns in space, well established by aliens at this point. So I'm down with that. And then finally, his spring-loaded rocket launcher that I am somewhat hesitant to test out. But I'm going to, because that's what we do here. I just don't want to lose this thing. Let's see. Oh, man, that's strong. Somebody could lose an eye with that thing. I love it. Let's do one more. Great. Fantastic. And a pretty simple rocket. Basic stuff there. And then that, let's get his arsenal out of his hands there. So this can attach to his shoulder, which is probably how I'll display him on the shelf. Ooh, can it attach? Oh, there we go. Okay. So it can go on his shoulder. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Or can go right into his hand there. Whichever. Probably the other hand. That way you'll be able to access the trigger a little better. Oh, man, he can even, since he can turn his wrist, you can even get this kind of thing going on. Oh, he's great. Now I want the rest of these Star Brigade Armor Tech guys. So there you go. That is, well, we don't need the sprue pieces. That is Robo-Joe, a figure that I would not have appreciated until my recent dive into the 90s of Joe, and I just really didn't get it before, but I do now. I love it. I love the colors. I love the toyetic designs. I love how crazy everything is. I mean, look at that. How do you not enjoy that insano figure? You have to. So thanks for watching, you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about needless things. And as always, my life is unending agony. Yo, Joe.
Smash that like button if you like needless things.